Doris Rittenhouse. She was a Whitaker before she married my papa. And they met when he was in the Army. They started writing letters back and forth to each other. And they wrote letters to each other for, I think, almost a couple years. It was a few years. And finally he come in and they met for the first time and got married. And they've been married for 40 years. Let's see, she's got 3 other sisters. She never had any brothers or nothing. She was the oldest of them. The oldest, and then she was 63 when she passed, so she would talk about when she was younger, about her and her sisters, how they fight, and sometimes they do stuff together and stuff like that, but she never told me where she was born or, just anything specific. You never think to ask anything like that when you're a kid, but I wish I had, because there's a lot of stuff I don't know about her now. She raised me from the time I was born up until I got grown on my own, pretty much. That's about it. And she's lived up near me, about all my life, so, like, if we'd move, she'd move with us. And we'd move back here, and she'd come back with us, I went everywhere with them. We used to go to flea markets. We used to go out of state. We used to go everywhere together. And then when I got old enough to drive, me and Mamaw went everywhere together. And then sometimes, Papa would, but most of it would just be me and her. She worked at Walmart for, I think, about 30 years, and then she had to retire because she had to be on dialysis because one of her kidneys was failing, I believe. And there for a while she talked about getting a donor when she first got on dialysis, but she never went through with it. Oh, she was on dialysis for 2 or 3 years. When they stick the needle in her arm, it would bruise her arm up real bad, and it'd knot up, just get knots in it. And after she'd come home from dialysis, she'd be real weak and tired, and it just got to the point to where it just got worse and worse, and then every little thing that bothered her, she'd have to go to the doctor for. And I mean, like, if the bruise took over her arm, she'd go to the doctor because she didn't know what was going on. Well, one day I come home from the doctor, and she was getting ready to leave, and I asked her where she was going. She said she had to go to the doctor because she wasn't feeling good. I didn't go every day because I thought, she'll be home soon, my mom's tough, But I went and seen her, and I didn't stay too long. And before I left, I told her I'd see her later. Well, the next day, someone asked me if I wanted to go with them, and I said, no, she'll be home tomorrow. She's getting better. I know she is. Well, the next day, they called and asked if the ambulance come up here and said that they was trying to get a hold of my papa because they needed to know if they could put her on life support. So then Dad, Papa left. They went up to Pikeville. I come home, and I was laying on the couch, and the phone rang about 4:30, and it was Papa, and he was crying, and he said Mama didn't make it. And I asked him, when did this happen? He said a few minutes ago. And I told him, to be careful, and I loved him, and hung up. Well, then I had to go and tell Mom, and that was the hardest thing in the world to do. I walked down there and I told her, and we sat there, and I come home and cried some more, and that's all I wanted to do. When I first moved over here, she wanted to put a sign up that said Mamaw's Lane, or Mamaw and Papa's Lane, because where there's so many houses over here. And we never really got around to it, and when she passed away, we finally got it done for her, and I think she would have liked it. I think she would have really liked it because she wanted it for so long, you know, and we finally did it, and to, I guess, remember her by it. It's something good to remember, you know.